Welcome to another episode of Bistec Tech Show. I am Gayashan from Bistec.
And I'm Chandima Ranaweera.
Let's roll the funky music.
So Gayashan, today what are the topics we are going to talk about?
Yeah, we have kind of really interesting topics. Before going to that, we have to talk a bit about AI, right? The world is going to be taken by AI, it seems.
Not going to be, I think it has already taken.
Yeah, it's already done. Yeah. So the everything, the way you learn, the way you work, the way you interacting with the world, the social media, the e-commerce platforms, everything is changing at the moment, as the moment that we are talking right now. So we have to aware of it. We have to know, we deserve to know what is going on right now.
Yeah, let's talk about them.
Yeah, so it's that all started a long time ago, but I think it came to our attention with ChatGPT. But now there are so many tools, like so many of them, powered by AI for different use cases. We can show our viewers some of those like super powerful AI tools, what they can do, what is the potential of them. Then we might be able to get some idea about what is the power of this AI.
Yeah, definitely. So this AI, or rather I would say this LLMs, right? That's the
large language
models. That's the hype right now going, right? So I think that can't be stopped. I think a lot of people are pushing towards this AI is dangerous and we should stop researching on them. But I don't think that will be the case.
I think that era is long gone.
Yeah, we tried a lot to come to this moment, right?
Yeah.
Now I don't think it's the moment to stop. I don't know
It won't stop.
If it will go to that matrix moment. I'm not sure. It might lead to that point, but still we have to try.
It won't, hopefully. And there is a discussion actually. We have to form some laws or like ethics, how to interact with AI, how to use AI for the good. Because the interesting thing about the technology is it can be good as well as it can be bad. Like, think about the nuclear power. You can do a enormous amount of damage, but also you can do a huge it can be the ultimate power generation source for a human race. So yeah, technology is like that. There is bad and good, but
the way you use it, it differs.
That is the thing. So we have lot to cover, we have lot to talk. It's I am like stuck. What is the first topic that we are going to talk about? Let's start with GPT tools. Let's start with Auto-GPT.
Yeah, so Auto-GPT is like a GitHub repo which is having 126,000 stars.
Yeah.
So for me, I think it's the first time I have seen this number of stars in one repo.
Yeah, we can show the screen, I guess.
Yeah, so as you can see, so this GitHub repo for Auto-GPT, let's see this one. So here it is. It's having 126k stars, right? And that's marvelous. You can't even imagine having that number of stars. Like, even if you go to React, right? So which is like the most famous front-end framework, it's I think having around 60k or something.
Yeah, let's go into that. Let's take a quick look. React GitHub.
So
Yeah, it has 207K.
okay,
Thank God.
thank God. Thank God.
But React is so old. Like it's been there like 10 years, I guess.
Yeah, 2013 to now 10 years now.
Yeah. Now, how many years Auto-GPT has been around?
Not years, man. It's
It's
just
just
months,
months, right?
Just months.
Yeah, it's just month, and there are over how many? 126K stars. My God.
Yeah, so the license file was created last month. That means that's the oldest file, I guess. So
Yeah.
it's just a month.
Just a month.
Just a month.
Wow.
So what is Auto-GPT? What do you think? So this is like if I tell you like the usage of ChatGPT or the GPT models has been decreased, would you believe that?
I cannot. Honestly, I cannot.
Yeah, so in the initial time, right, when OpenAI announced ChatGPT
Yeah.
or the OpenAI models, there were like millions of people who has signed up for this waiting list, right? But now as the time goes, the number of users who are actually using the GPT API has been decreased. One of the reasons is the tools like Auto-GPT. Why it happens is like Auto-GPT is a tool where you can give some goals, right? And it will use all the open AI tools and internet and other sources to achieve that particular goal or the task, right? Let's say so the example on Auto-GPT is like creating a text file about Auto-GPT itself, right? So you know like ChatGPT, right, which is trained on 2021 data, could not have details about this Auto-GPT, right? So it was introduced last month.
Yeah, actually, I searched about Auto-GPT in ChatGPT. It's saying, I'm sorry, but I couldn't find any information about Auto-GPT in my training data up to September 2021.
Yeah,
Interesting.
exactly. So now, like when they search about Auto-GPT using Auto-GPT, what happens is it actually goes to ChatGPT and asks this question, and it will understand that there is no real solution for that, right? Then it will search for other sources like internet, and from there it will find some sources, and based on the information you are getting from the other tools, it will generate more prompts. You know about this prompt engineering, right?
Yeah.
So
it's a whole another topic that we have
that's
to discuss.
another topic. So somehow like how to ask appropriate questions from GPT APIs, that's called prompt engineering. So the Auto-GPT will generate new prompts, right? Most accurate prompts automatically, and it will pass that prompt to a GPT API, and it will get the results back. Plus combination with all the latest databases and the internet.
Yeah, so with Auto-GPT, you are not restricted to a data set. So
Yeah.
you have you have access to all the information which is
On the web.
available in the internet, right? Yeah.
Yeah, plus it has this capability to like automatically generate prompts. So let's say you want to generate this file, that is your goal. So the first step, you ask from the GPT, you didn't find it, you go to the internet and get the next one. So then you ask a question about the information you found on the internet, right? You generate the prompt for that, go to ChatGPT, ask from there. Likewise, it will generate the prompts automatically till you get the final goal.
Yeah.
So likewise, now like if you think about creating a program, right? Let's say you want to have a to-do application or something. So I haven't tried this myself. What I am thinking is like if you ask to create a program for creating to-do list, right? So Auto-GPT will ask all the questions that you should ask from ChatGPT itself, like automatically generated questions.
Yeah.
The answers ChatGPT will give, but the questions Auto-GPT will generate. So you don't have to do anything. You just have to set the goal and sit back, and it will do everything for you.
Yeah.
That's like mind-blowing.
Yeah,
like
pretty
so,
amazing.
and also kind of dangerous, right? So
Exactly. Exactly. So and Auto-GPT is using GPT-4, right? Because the public version of ChatGPT is still using GPT 3.5, but here you have the power of GPT-4. Is it?
yeah, as far as I can remember, the last episode we did, at that time GPT-4 was released.
Just
right?
released. Yeah.
But it was in kind of a beta mode.
Yeah.
Right. But now I think for the pro version, like the licensed users in ChatGPT, they get GPT-4 as a model to select, right?
Yeah.
But the others, yes, they get the 3.5 version.
We can show that nice video about Auto-GPT, right? That video, you can ask about Auto-GPT, and it's searching for that, and that video, it's on the GitHub page, right?
Yeah, what I will do is I will include that link in our video.
Yeah, exactly.
You can go and watch it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, it's
It's
just mind-blowing. Yeah.
I think one other thing that we actually saw after the last episode, one was that ChatGPT or the OpenAPI extensions, ChatGPT extensions.
Yeah.
I think we did not talk about that in the last episode.
Yeah.
So bit about the extensions that is only enabled for the plus version. They say like you have to pay around like $20, right, and get a monthly subscription for ChatGPT. Then you are eligible for using these extensions. Whereas like you know that ChatGPT is only trained for 2021 data, right?
Yeah.
So for the new data, what you can do is you can plug an extension. The famous example is that Wolfram Mathematica plugin,
Yeah.
right? So where you search like you ask for something related to mathematics, it will actually look into the GPT training model, and it will see that there's an extension available which will do a better job, right? It will go to Wolfram and search for that particular question in Wolfram Mathematica and get the answer back and give it back as an answer in ChatGPT. So likewise, if you want to plug in others' data sources into ChatGPT, you can use these extensions, and the development pipeline is also open, right? So if you are a developer who is willing to contribute or like use it as a tool where you can plug other sources into ChatGPT, so here's your chance. And
yeah, I think with the plugins you have this ability to use other services or other technologies. For example, Wolfram is like it was developed for a long time, and it's a great tool for mathematics. So think about that. With that Wolfram plugin, you can combine the power of ChatGPT with the Wolfram.
yeah,
So I mean,
so that's the power of extensions, right?
Unimaginable.
So it's like it will become a Play Store kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Where you have like lot of extensions,
Yeah.
and you can plug anything you want, right? Even if you have a business or something, if you want to advertise about your business.
Yeah.
So if they ask something about your business particularly from ChatGPT, so your plugin might have a role to play there. You can do some advertising, or you can even provide your services to them based on your site, your application, right? So there are a lot of possibilities or chances that you can take on.
Yeah, and you also can build custom plugins, I guess.
Yeah,
For your use case, you can build a plugin, and
yeah, so there are like two ways to extend ChatGPT as far as now, right? So one is you can write a extension, and the other way is you can fine tune a model.
Yeah, we will talk about fine tuning in this episode also.
Yeah, definitely. So right now there are only few extensions available, right? So you have one for this Wolfram Mathematica, as I explained, one for Zapier, likewise only few, I think around 9 or 10, but the documentation is there, right? In the OpenAPI documentation, you can clearly identify like how to develop a new plugin and how to publish it. And likewise, there will be new extensions in future, which will like strengthen the already giant ChatGPT.
Yeah,
right?
it is possible because ChatGPT is, I mean, these GPT models are just large language models, so they are like generalized AI kind of. So they can work with anything. I mean, virtually they can do anything that a human mind can do. So yeah.
And the thing is, we can't remember, or we can't absorb that much of data at once, right?
Yeah.
But they have the capability to search that data. Even though we have that data in our mind, we can't search it instantly. But GPT is very capable of that. Plus, if we get that all the data set in the internet, that means that's a win-win, right, for the GPT. So
I mean, it's just unimaginable, the power of that. Okay. Yeah.
let's stop there now.
let's go, just jump into the next one. Let's talk about agent GPT. What is agent GPT? It's also very popular in GitHub, and what is it?
Yeah, I think that is very similar to Auto-GPT. That's kind of deploying your own agents, AI agents in your browser, right? So you can write a set of commands to deploy this agent, and that particular agent will do the work for you. So why don't we go into this NVIDIA?
Yeah, let's talk about NVIDIA. And NVIDIA have like pretty awesome stuff. Before going too deep about NVIDIA, I just want to mention that OpenAI using NVIDIA supercomputer to develop ChatGPT. I mean, it is just interesting because it was given to OpenAI about several years ago, maybe a couple of years ago. So OpenAI is using NVIDIA silicon, and it's also using Azure infrastructure. So I mean, it's worth to mention those two.
Yeah, I think Microsoft has invested $13 billion as of now.
Yeah.
So I think we have to mention it.
Yeah. Now NVIDIA has enhanced their GPU. We will talk about it. But before, we have some interesting things that NVIDIA is involved in this AI technology.
Yeah, so in general, I guess NVIDIA is not particularly only about this generative AI. So it has like released couple of tools like NVIDIA Picasso, NVIDIA BioNeMo, and NVIDIA NeMo. So there are a lot of tools. So what I'm trying to say is like NVIDIA is not only focused on these GPT models, right? So it's trying to go above and beyond.
Yeah.
So I think they have this great tool like called DGX Cloud, right? Which is hosting all these, as you said, the GPUs to power up all the AI LLMs, right? And they are offering it as a SaaS service, right? SaaS, so I would say like infrastructure as a service, right? So that is, as a start, I think they have started it on Oracle Cloud, but it will be available on Google and Azure for definitely. So AWS, I'm not sure. So they have also started some kind of AI as far as I can remember, but they are like slowly moving on relative to other cloud giants. So yeah, so if we talk about this NVIDIA Picasso, I think that's really similar to DALI too, I would say.
Yeah.
Right, generating images and videos, text, everything is there. So there are a lot of AI tools, and NVIDIA is not falling behind. It's trying to keep up its place. And since it has these amazing hardware capabilities, I think they will go a long way.
Yeah, and the nicest thing is NVIDIA Picasso is collaborating with, partnering with Adobe, right? So Adobe is the giant in the creative world. Like, if you are going to do something creative, you need Adobe. You cannot do it without Adobe. So without Adobe product. So yeah. So now imagine Photoshop, Illustrator, and all the Adobe products with the power of AI. Now imagine what will be the output, what will be the, the creative process will be, it will be different. It will be so different.
Yeah. So
and
I'm just looking for this AI tool released by the Adobe. So I can't remember the exact name, something called Firefly or something, right? Adobe AI Firefly, yes. So that's also an art generator, right? Just like Picasso. I think even any company which is like on the top of this IT world, is like investing heavily on AI these days.
Yeah, all the giants are in the AI area. Yes.
Yeah. So even the AWS, right? So let me just search for that one. I also see there was a AI operating on AWS. So let me just search the name, Amazon Lex. That was already there. That's not the one. New AI. So anyway, as I was telling you, so all the cloud giants, all the giant technology companies are investing on AI, and NVIDIA is taking it to a whole new level. So if you look at this BioNeMo, right? So that is like amazing, right? That's the functionality of BioNeMo is to like simulate the generation of drugs, right?
Yeah.
So you can simulate different structures of the molecules, and by doing that, it will test the accuracy or the productivity of a drug without actually producing them in a large scale, right?
Yeah.
So that is marvelous, right? So you have seen these movies where you try out different drugs without actually using actual humans or animals to test it, and this will like make the drug industry or making of healthcare products so powerful and so fast, right? So we'll have like, I don't know, we might be able to generate human organs someday using these tools. I'm not saying
I
that
think there are researchers already.
Yeah, definitely there will be, and they will be like fast, and will have like good result in very near future because of we are having these AI tools.
Yeah, in biotechnology, they are using these computational drug discovery tools already. But now this with NVIDIA BioNeMo service, it is a cloud service that anybody can use for this specific use case. So this will enormously accelerate that rate of the drug discovery. So this will help like hugely in medical field.
Yeah, so as you said, like it will be available for anyone, right?
Yeah.
So because these researchers and these drug discoveries are normally funded by few people and available only for few people, right? Not everyone. Because of this kind of tools, it will be available for a lot of people. That means there's a chance that you will get the right product with higher probability.
Yeah.
Right, because a lot of people are searching and researching on these.
Yeah, I think it's better to explain a bit about bit high level idea about this drug discovery. So in past, what we do is we we prepare the protein or the enzyme or whatever the drug in laboratory, and we test it with animals. Mostly mice and then monkeys, and after that, after long process, it will approved for testing with humans. It will take years. So now the process is you can simulate you can simulate the molecular structure and the functions. I mean,
and how they are reacting with maybe actual biocells.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, exactly. You can simulate that in on a computer. So then you can create a better, you can create a set of molecules, set of proteins, which has a better probability of succeeding. So what you are doing is you are decreasing that time frame. In past, it will take 10 years or so, but now it will take couple of years, maybe 2 or 3 years. I think that is why we got that COVID vaccine so quickly.
Mm-hmm. That might be the case, but haven't really heard about that. The AI was involved in creating the COVID vaccine.
I don't think in that AI was involved, because large language models were they are just released. So we will see huge development in the biotechnology field with AI, with the help of AI.
Yeah, it seems after all this AI is doing so much good than bad, right? As of now, at least.
Yeah, exactly. People should aware of this, and then with the awareness, we can build some kind of set of ethics or set of laws. Maybe the law has to be updated, I guess.
Yeah, I guess there are discussions going on, right?
Yeah.
To generate rules and regulations, like how to use the AI.
Yeah.
Even we have seen some news Samsung leaking data into OpenAI. Something like that. So
I saw that.
There are a lot of things going on. Yeah. There are laws to prevent that or adhere to those scenarios, right? But in total, I would say with the intention of good, it will generate a lot of new ideas, new horizons for us with this new AI technology. Yeah.
I think awareness is the key. You have to aware that this is here, and we have to face this in near future. And that is the whole purpose that we are doing this kind of discussions. And we strongly invite you to share the news, share these things with your colleagues, with your friends. Discuss this, because this will be a part of your life very soon.
Yeah. And already here.
Yeah.
Shall we move on?
GitHub Copilot X was announced. I don't think it is released yet, but I'm not sure. So, Chandima, do you know anything about Copilot X? And what are the interesting things?
Yeah, I guess Copilot, again, there are a lot of Copilots being released by Microsoft these days.
Yeah.
So also I want to mention that GitHub is owned by Microsoft now, right? So Copilot X is having a superior kind of programming supporter.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, quick question. Do you recommend Copilot to a developer? Let's talk about a new developer. Do you recommend Copilot or not?
I would not. Right?
So why?
Okay, so there are two aspects. One thing is you know the basics, and then you can actually use a tool to gain your speed, accelerate your productivity, right? So as far as I can remember, there are researches that had been done, and they would say that ChatGPT has increased productivity of a developer from 20% to 55%, right? So that's like almost doubled the productivity. But it only comes when you know the basics, right? So you have to know how to ask the question correctly, and you have to know the correct question. And also, when you get that output from maybe Copilot X or ChatGPT, right? You have to make sure that particular code piece is the right thing, right? The correct way to implement your solution. Otherwise, it's like searching Stack Overflow, right? So you don't know what is the correct way. So you go to Stack Overflow and search for that. You find the first thing that will work and you put into your code. And in the long run, what will happen is you will get into troubles that you even don't know why it happened, right? So
it will be a complete mess.
It will be a complete mess. So if you are an experienced developer, then I think using GPT for advanced tasks are fine. But if you are a very new person to this IT industry, I guess you will have to get the fundamentals correctly. Otherwise, what will happen is like, let's say you are using a framework and there are some ground rules or the technologies that has been used underneath that framework that you don't know, right? So you are only aware about this layer, framework layer. Now if something goes wrong on that framework, so you will not know how to fix it because you don't know what are the fundamentals, how the dots are connected, right? So if you know that, even if you use the framework to make sure your solution speed is high, if there is a problem, you are capable of solving that. If you don't know, you are in the dark, right? That's the case for this Copilot X or ChatGPT. So you have to know the fundamentals. To know that, you have to make sure you are not using it. If you're using it, you will definitely search for the next thing that you want to find, and it will give you the answer which might work, which might not. But that particular way of creating solutions is not ideal for a learning person, a student or a fresh graduate, I would say.
Yeah, I remember when we first trying to learn Java, because that was still it is the language for learners, right? Universities are teaching Java and Python. So about 10 years ago, we only had Java. So instructors did not allow us to use IDEs for for some time. We were just writing code on the notepad, yeah, without any,
just black and white, right?
Yeah. And that was a really good learning experience.
Yeah, so if you miss a semicolon, everything is done, right?
Yeah.
So then you will learn like 1,000 ways to make it like go wrong. There is only one way to make it work, but there are like 1,000 ways to make it wrong or like go with the wrong path. So when you know those like 1,000 paths, there is no way of stopping you making a mistake, right? So you have to know the basics and how to go like wrong with everything. Then only you will understand how to make a good program, right?
So for the students, the message is just have a solid basics.
Yes.
Yeah, that is a fine piece of advice. So yeah, thank you. So now GitHub Copilot was there, but now they are releasing Copilot X. And what are the features that you are getting? And
yeah, so I saw this amazing demo on Copilot X, where it shows like generating test cases, right? So you select a piece of code and you are asking Copilot X to like generate unit tests for that one, and it will generate the test for you, right? So there are things like you can ask to find a bug or correct the problems in a code. That is, I think, already in ChatGPT, but Copilot X is also kind of a rival to ChatGPT now, right?
Yeah.
So it's trying to level up with ChatGPT, and it's having more momentum because it's like tightly coupled with GitHub and Visual Studio, I would say, right? So there are a lot of people who are using VS Code and Visual Studio, and for them, this ChatGPT, not ChatGPT, sorry, the Copilot X will be a huge advantage, right? So it will, as I said, like increase their productivity, maybe from 20% to 55%. And there are, I think, features like creating automatic pull requests and automatic testing. A lot of things are available with Copilot X, but I think this is just the start, right? And there will be a lot of features coming in. And as I can remember previously, Copilot X, not the X part, but Copilot was having the capability to generate code for you based on the comments that you put on the code itself, right? So yeah, that's another tool. They say like you are AI pair programmer, right?
Yeah.
So pair programming is a good concept. Now AI is helping you out.
Yeah. So that is about Copilot X, and next we have pretty interesting things happening in the JavaScript world. We just changed the flow because in early episodes we do JavaScript. We talk about JavaScript world first and get to the AI last. But here now we just changed it. We talked about
the world
AI.
has changed.
Yeah, exactly. So in the JavaScript world, several things are happening. So Node 20 was released.
Yeah, so you can't even imagine, right? So I can remember when Node.js 8 or 9 was there. Now it has come to 20. Like so many versions has been released. I think one reason is they have switched to this semantic version, right? So you get a new version every 6 months. So it might be the reason that we are leveling up so much. But I think Node 20 does not have like so many features from the previous versions. But I think they have introduced a new permission model, right? So before there were some experimental flags, but now you can actually use them in general availability, right? So Node 20, welcome.
With that, I think it worth to mention that the programmers have to update their Node versions, because I have seen some projects like with old Node versions. So now with this, I would mention just please upgrade your versions. We have talked about this earlier, but yeah. Can you comment that?
Yeah. So the thing with Node versions is like most of the libraries, right? So you are using, they support on a particular fixed Node version. So if you like lower your version or if you upgrade your version, your application might break. So, but the thing is, you have to upgrade the versions. Otherwise, the security patches that comes along with the new versions won't be there for you, right? So if you use the old versions, it will have some vulnerable libraries and the vulnerable algorithms, I would say, used with Node.js itself. So you have to make sure you are up to date with the at least the LTS version, right? Latest LTS version. Otherwise, it's not very good to be in a production application.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, next one is interesting. Angular. So with React, Angular was not in the spotlight for some time. It was not very popular because of these new React technologies. But now Angular 16, I'm not sure it's released yet, but it was announced. And there are interesting things that we can talk. I mean, Angular developers will be happy to see this news.
Yeah, I think Angular 16 is released, right? So it has some breaking changes also. they have like moved totally to this IV engine, right? So they are deprecating this NGCC, the Angular compiler, and also they are introducing signals, right?
That's a huge deal. Yeah.
Yeah, if you can remember, we talked about solid.js last time.
Yeah.
So it was having these signals as a concept, and I think Angular is also introducing the signals. I think that's a huge change. And also there are some changes as well, right? On the other thing is like the SSR, or I would say the server-side rendering.
Yeah.
So they are trying to increase the compatibility with server-side components. I think React and Next.js has done a marvelous job, right? So Angular is trying to keep up.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good news. Yeah.
Welcome
Angular.
Yeah, so they already had something called Angular Universal, but I don't know if it is like mostly been used in a lot of production applications, but I think they are trying to come up with new features, usable features, which makes us enable to use Angular as a server-side rendering framework.
Yeah. So Signal. I think the signals concept is a great deal for Angular because there is a big discussion in the developer world. Within front-end developers, it was there for some time because PR was open for some time. So now it's released. Maybe we will see some popularity in Angular soon. Let's hope.
Yeah, I guess that's the best thing about these frameworks, right? So they adopt from each other, right? So these signals, I think they were initially they are on solid.js, but solid.js also I think borrowed it from React at some level. So they had these use state hooks, right? So that was borrowed from solid.js, and Angular is borrowing from Solid. Likewise, that's a good thing.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So there are pros and cons of using every framework, right? So
there are no perfect frameworks. Just for the note, there are no perfect frameworks or perfect technologies. There is always a trade-off. Yeah.
Yeah, that is all about trade-offs.
Yeah.
And if you are a person who prefers Angular, and I think Signals is a way to go moving forward.
Yeah, exactly. And NX, a new version of NX was released?
Yeah, I guess if you don't know about NX, that is Angular scaffolding tool, right? That is created by Narwhal, right? So you can go to nx.dev and read about NX. So I use it all the time, right? So not because it's only on Angular, but it has different framework involved. You can use React, Next.js, Nest.js. So a lot of frameworks are there, and you can have like different plugins like Storybook. And I also recently saw that NX is supporting Deno plugin, where you can write Deno on top of your application, right? So it's a great tool, and it has these build cache, which makes the build time of your front-end application way faster, right? And there's a tool called NX Console, which is actually a VS Code plugin where you can generate your components and libraries and everything in a monorepo, right? So NX is actually using a monorepo concept where you can have apps and libraries, right? So app will be the executable endpoint, right? Like a micro frontend, and the libraries are the reusable or like shared components, right? So that particular monorepo concept is been developed and introduced by, I think, I'm not saying introduced, but it is like heavily used within these NX tools, right? So with the new version, I think the previous npm package was scoped to, at Narwhal. Now it is been moved to at NX, right? That's something you have to be aware. So if you are moving to the new version, you have to like change all the package names. I think they have already given a tool like NX upgrade or something, which will do that package upgrade for you.
Yeah.
But that's a good tool, and that's a good way to architect your front-end applications.
Yeah. NX also have this integration for VS Code to generate your commands, CLI commands. You don't have to write all the CLI commands. You can just execute CLI command with clicks.
Yeah, so that's called NX console.
Yeah.
Right. So the best thing about NX is, like, let's say you want to do multiple things at once. So it gives you this powerful CLI, right? So you can say NX run many, and you can give all the actions that you want to run. It will run all the actions in parallel, right? That's also a parameter, I guess. You can do it in sequential as well. So that might be really helpful when you want to build multiple libraries and run multiple, maybe you want to run the application plus the end-to-end test suite, right? You can just issue one command and it will do everything for you. And about NX, like you got these amazing tools like NX lint, right? So you can actually lint all the code and fix the errors. So there are a lot of advantages when you are using NX.
Yeah.
Right?
If you are a JavaScript developer, if you have not heard of NX, we strongly recommend you to take a look at NX. It's an awesome tool. You will need it eventually, sooner or later. So lastly, let's jump into Next. So we have talked about Next.js 13. There was some groundbreaking changes such as app router. It was not in production. It was there as an experimental feature, but now with NX 13.4 released, like
Next.js 13.4.
Yes, I'm sorry. Next.js 13.4 was released yesterday or day before yesterday, very soon. So now app router is stable, and there are so many other things too. Yeah, I think it's better to. I mean, we have to get Next.js into the spotlight. It deserved it.
Yeah. So Next.js is a great framework, right? And I was personally waiting for this general availability of this app router.
Yeah, me too.
Right. So I have tried this. This experimental plug I have tried a few times, but there were some hiccups, like you can't run the next export command. Likewise, there were few hiccups where I can't do a actual production build. Right now, I think since they have released the production version or the general availability version, so all these the server component, nested routes, the data patching, suspense, all these things, I think we can use it in our production applications, and it will be a really huge bump on our tooling.
Yeah, exactly. So with that, there are some other things such as Turbo Pack moved to beta. I think before it was the alpha version. And there is a new thing called server actions. It's still in alpha.
Yeah, I saw that small piece of code, right? You can use server inside of the function, right? Your component function, and it will execute on the server side, right? So that's a new thing. I think that's still in beta or something, right? So that's not generally available, but you can turn on the experimental flags and try it on. So that might be a good thing, right? So you don't want your database logic or the business logic to be executed on your client side, right? So you want to execute it on the server. So you can move your actions into server using this particular code piece. So we are looking forward to these new features. and I think Versal is doing a great job.
Yeah, exactly.
And
I think Versal is teaming up with React also. I saw a news some time ago, couple of
yeah,
weeks
I
ago.
think when they release Next.js 13, the initial version, I think a couple of people from Facebook also was in the discussion panel,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So they are already collaborating, because along React is not really a framework, right?
Yeah, exactly. At
It's
least
a UI library, as
yeah,
they
yeah,
say.
yeah.
So
And create React app was deprecated also.
yeah, so they released a new site called react.dev or something, right?
Yeah. The new documentation site.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think they are not recommending create React app anymore.
Yeah.
Next.js is the go-to tool.
Yeah. Now the recommended way is one of recommended ways is create next app.
Yes.
So yeah, we will see amazing things in Next.js. I mean, we are hoping to. So the front end, whole front end development ground is changing because of these server components. Basically, yeah. So if you are a front end developer, I think you should read about these things. You have to keep up with these things, because now app router and all the things are in production. So you will see those in very soon in your production apps.
Yeah. So I mean, like even though there are a lot of AI things that you coming to the ground, on the side note, the JavaScript world is also moving on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we have to keep up with all the things. That's why we are bringing this podcast to you.
Exactly. Right? Yeah. All right. I think that's enough for today. We have so many things to talk about, but that's enough for today. We will see you in the next one. Bye.
Yeah. Thank you.